Hey, my friends, welcome to day number 3 of our stretching slash flexibility 15-day challenge. Hopefully, you're feeling great. I don't know if you tried yesterday all of the lower back rectus abdominis stretches, but today we're going to be doing some of the similar muscles, stretching that, but from a seated position. So these would be great to do at work if you have some time. And it doesn't have to be consecutively 15 minutes. If you want to do one exercise, do some work, and come back to it and do the second exercise, pause the video, you can do that too. I'm just glad you're here and taking care of yourself. So good job. We're going to do a warm up. And while we're doing that, I need to explain something to you. So let's start with just a little kick across really fast to get some blood moving. Dynamic warm up here, blood moving through the muscles. So this is going to be a nice little stretch through those outer hips. Now here's something I want you to be aware of. Even though we're going to be stretching your lower back, let's go heel tap. You may not see a massive amount of relief today after the stretches, and you might. But a lot of times the lower back is also affected by inner thighs, by hamstrings, by tight vastus lateralis. There's a lot of other muscles that can play into lower back tightness. Maybe your TFL is tight. Make a mental note of the areas that were really tight, or write it down actually, so that you know which ones you need to visit. Because once you start releasing some of the tightness in some of those other muscle groups that are tight, you could potentially notice a huge difference in your lower back. Okay, so let's go quad really fast here. You don't have to add arms, it's just habit for me, but you don't have to. Good. And now we're going to do just a little kick, little low kick. So tight hamstrings can really cause some lower back tightness. So if your chronic tight hamstrings and your lower back is always tight, there's probably a correlation there, just saying. But today, it's abs and lower back stretch. With that being said, okay, you guys ready? Let's go to that seated position. So we're going to start with a seated lower back stretch. So you're just going to go a little bit wider with those feet, sitting like middle of the chair or edge of the chair, and all you're going to do is just lean forward, letting your chin drop to your chest. If this is easy and you're not feeling any stretch in that lower back, you can wrap your biceps around your calves and then pull your a chest closer to the floor. You can also try to go a little bit wider with your feet so that you can get a deeper stretch as well. We're going to hold each of these stretches 1 minute. So you have 30 seconds left here. Couple of deep breaths to try to get a little bit deeper into that stretch. And hopefully it feels really good. Okay, good. And we're going to go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 3, 2, and done. Okay, the reason, just so you know, that I'm holding these stretches for a minute, the recommendation is anywhere from 10 seconds to a minute. We're going a minute so that you can get extra deep stretch there. Now we're going to do a seated cat-cow. So you're going to interlock those hands, and they're going to be in front of you. So you're going to face those palms out. We're going to arch our back like a cat. So really trying to round those shoulders, letting that lower back relax, even push your tailbone into the chair. Good. And now we're going to take those arms overhead and go into a cow. So now you're going to push that belly forward. Good. Reaching up. And now we're going to go back into a cat. So driving rounding those hips, pushing that tailbone into the chair. And now we're going to go reach those arms overhead, arch through the back like a cow. If we could, so we're sending our tailbone behind us now, not into the chair. And do one more of each of those. So arch, send that tailbone into the chair. Good. And now we're going to go overhead one more time. Oh, that's so nice, huh? Oh, okay. Good. Let's get some glutes. A little bit of glute, maybe. So you're going to do a knee hug to begin with. So we're just going to do 30 seconds each leg. All you're going to do is just bring your knee to your chest. So sitting nice and tall, and just hug your knee to your chest. I want you to be aware of where you feel this stretch, if you feel it at all. It may be in your hip flexor, it may be in your thigh, it might be lower back, it might be glute. Whatever you're feeling is probably attributing to lower back tightness. So, but this does help open up through that lower back just a little bit. Okay, good. Now let's switch to the other side. So hugging that other knee to your chest. If this hurts, like if you've had a knee replacement and your knee just doesn't want to bend that way, you can always grab underneath your knee and pull that to your chest. But just please stay tall and see how that feels on that lower back. Great. Okay. I pulled that for another 5. Sorry, 4. I had to check my watch. 3, 2, and done. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to do a little twist for that quadratus lumborum. So sitting nice and tall. If you have arms on your chair, it might be helpful. You do what you can, okay? So you're going to either twist and hold on to the, or if you want to twist all the way around and grab the back of your chair, you can. Trying to keep those, like your knees are staying forward, so we're not twisting our body this way where you lose the stretch. You're going to keep those feet facing forward as you rotate. This is going to be a really big stretch, sure, in your shoulder, but it also twists your spine, and you'll feel a nice little stretch on in the lower back too. Okay, so if this is too much to grab here, it's okay to grab here. Okay, do what you can without causing more pain. It should feel good. Oh, and you're gonna feel so many good endorphins when you're done. I did mean to tell you also, here's 5, 4, 3, 2, take a little break. Other direction, so grabbing the arm or grabbing the back of the chair, trying to keep those knees forward though, okay? I did mean to tell you that, or want to tell you that there is a form of yoga, and it's a deep stretching yoga where you can hold the poses, 4 or 5 minutes long. And so you you will notice that we'll start with one muscle that's really tight, and as the longer you hold it, that'll release, but then the stretch will move to another muscle. So if you're super tight, please don't be afraid to stretch your muscles. If you made it to the end of day 1, keep going. You have 20 seconds, 15 seconds left. You would have seen the illustration of the rubber band. Your muscles are like rubber bands, and you got to keep using that so that they don't break, because if you stop stretching and you get very stiff, you can get back to mobility, but the chances of you pulling a muscle are much greater. So we don't want that to happen. So good job showing up today. All right, good. Now we're going to get a different part of that quadratus lumborum, okay, or into that lower back. We're going to put your left hand on your left knee. And I want you to be very aware of the instruction here. You're going to take your forehead to your left hand, and then I want you, so drop your left hip and raise your right hip. And you're going to feel super big stretch in your right side, like the right lower back area. So your head your forehead to your left hand, drop your left hip, and try to just gently lift that right hip. And there'll be a huge lower back stretch there. Good job. Whatever you want to do with your right hand, if you want to put on your right knee, you can. If you want to drop it to the floor, you can. That'll be a little deeper stretch there. We have another 20 seconds. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and done. Okay. That one's magical, isn't it? And it's so easy. Now we're going to put right hand, right knee. Take your forehead to your right hand. Okay, here we go. Now I want you to drop that right hip and lift your left hip. So you can't really see what I'm doing, but you can definitely feel. So if you drop the right, lift to the left, you can put your left hand on your left knee if you want, or you can let that left hand fall to the floor. I mean, you might notice a difference just by putting a little bit of pressure into that left knee with your left hand versus if you let your hand fall to the floor. So you might even notice that you feel a difference in each side. One side might be tighter than the other. It's very normal. You have 15 seconds left. Good. Here's 5, 4, 3, 2, and take a little break. Okay, we have 2 more stretches that we're going to do. So you're going to cross right ankle over left knee, sitting tall, and you're just going to lean forward a little bit to get some lower back. If you feel this in your glute instead of lower back, that just means that your deep piriformis. There's a muscle in your glute called piriformis that could be causing some lower back pain. Okay, but if you just keep that back tall, lean forward a little bit, it should be lower back. If this is a challenge because you've had a knee replacement, keep holding that. You can grab onto your shoe and then lean forward and see how that works for you. Doesn't get into the piriformis as much, but it does stretch lower back. So you can try that as well. We're going to go for another 30 seconds. And hopefully this feels good. Breathing through these, by the way. Oh, wow. Okay, here's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and done. Okay, let's take a little break. Switching sides. Left ankle over right knee, sitting tall, just a slight lean forward. Or if that is too much on the knee or the hip, then it's okay to go, lower that leg a little bit and then lean forward. If you want to try both stretches, even if you haven't had a knee or hip replacement and you want to try this stretch to see how it feels, go ahead. Because you might discover a new stretch that you really, really like. Or it might be a little bit more effective for you. Okay, we're about 20 seconds left. Just feels good, right? To stretch. We don't do this enough. I say it to myself all the time. I really wish that I did this more often. Just take the time. It doesn't take much. And you're done. Okay, good. So this last one is just a standing stretch. So you'll want to use the back of your chair. And the reason why I want to do this stretch, particularly for your abs, is because if your abs are too tight, you're always sitting in this position here. It puts your body in proper alignment, right? So your abs are too tight and it puts so a little bit of extension in your lower back versus here where your lower back is in neutral position. So we need to stretch that rectus abdominis out just a little bit so that your back, it'll help relieve some of the pressure in your lower back. So you're just going to place your hands on the back of your chair and then let your hips fall forward. Just, push your hips forward a little bit so you can get a nice stretch through your abs. You don't want to cause lower back pain. So we're not like doing this huge arch. Okay, it shouldn't be lower back pain. You're just getting a nice stretch through your rectus abdominis. Okay, good. And now we're going to go into a pelvic tilt. So you're going to push those hips forward just to stretch that lower back. So this is similar to a cat-cow. We did a seated cat-cow. Now we're doing a standing cat-cow. You're going to do it again. Nice big stretch through your core here. Those six-pack abs. And now we're going to go back into that the cat, sorry. Okay, good. We're going to do one more. So send that tailbone back behind you. Ab stretch. So you're like doing a cow here. And now we're going to go to that cat. Surrounding the shoulders, pushing the hips, rolling those hips under. Okay, good. Now, one more really quickly for one more ab stretch here. So all you're going to do, interlock those arms, those hands go overhead, and reach for the ceiling. If you want to do a tiny little lean to the left and a tiny little lean to the right, you can, but please no lower back pain when you do that lean. If you want to just stay straight on right here, couple of deep breaths. Okay, hopefully that helped. Hopefully you feel a little bit more mobility in your lower back. If there was a stretch that you noticed was like, wow, that was really good, make a note, and you can do that every day, even if it's 10 seconds. You don't have to hold it for 60. Just hold it for 10. You can do it every single day. Even 3 times a week, you will notice a huge difference in your mobility. It's just about being consistent. High five for being here. I will see you tomorrow for day number 4, and we're going to be focusing on your glutes. So lots of glute stretching, and that'll be on the floor. Or your bed. If you don't want to do that, then skip to number 5, and we'll be doing it from a seated position. I will see you tomorrow. Have a great day.